the myth of intolerance. So Mr. Nehru was the first one after the British who started throwing mud at the Hindus, at the customs. Today we see that the institutions of India, like the Supreme Court, continue, to belittle and to cut down on Hindus' practice and custom. Again, 800 million people are there in this country. It's not a small weight, it's a big weight. It's a powerful intellect, it's a power. But they stand down, they do not react. So the myth of intolerance continued to be, and especially when the Hindus come to power. Because when the Hindus were in power, if you see the great Hindu kingdoms, whether it's a Vijayanagar kingdom, for instance, the last great Hindu kingdom was that of Vijayanagar. Even today, I don't know how many of you have been to Hampi. Such a mystical place, you can still feel, the greatness, the goodness, the aura of this place. Every statue had its nose and ears chopped, but still, there's such beauty. How many of you have been to Hampi? It's an extraordinary place. So Hindu power was also in that place very tolerant. All religions were accepted. It was the rule of the Dharma, of goodness, of justice, and there was prosperity, and there was, so much support to arts. Vijayanagar went away to the last great empire. Then the Hindus came back to power in 1999 with Mr. Vajpayee. The campaign of intolerance that followed was unique to observe. It was unique to observe when Mr. Vajpayee came back to power and came back in 2000 again. How much slander was thrown on Hindus and Hindu power. The entire media spoke about church being vandalized, though afterwards it was found that they had not been vandalized. There were bomb attacks. There were accusations of intolerance towards minorities. Again, India is the only country in the world where minorities have found refuge and have been able to practice in total freedom their religion. Total freedom, including the first Arab Mexicans that came before the Muslim invasions. All the Christians that came here, if you look at the Inquisition in Goa that Shefali speaks about, the Portuguese who came, they were welcome. They were welcome to the trade. And what did they do in exchange? They started Inquisition, burning, torturing, crucifying. So it's been a one-way traffic, but still that label of intolerance is thrown at Hindus, especially when they come to power. So Mr. Vajpayee suffered from it. I don't think he ever recovered. I don't think he ever recovered from that campaign of slander. After that, they tried their best to please the media, to please the intelligentsia, but they could never succeed. Then we come to the Gujarat riots, which are taken as a symbol of intolerance, of Hindu intolerance. But if you look at them, the spark that triggered was the burning of 58 innocent Hindus in the Sabarmati train. And the media never mentioned that, that 58 people were totally innocent, we had done nothing wrong, we're not criminals, coming back from Ayodhya. And among them, 36 women and children were burned like animals by a crowd. This is something that is a blot on democracy, it's a blot on anybody who perpetrates such a crime. So this is what triggered the riots. But riots like that don't happen just because of one event. They happen because of sections of events over many years, many decades sometimes centuries of pent-up anger, frustration, and one spark, it exploded. Now, Mr. Modi has been accused many times, many times, of being the one responsible for these riots. But the people who descended in the streets were, from normal people, from the Dalit to the Brahmins, to the Kshatriyas, the Gujarati people who descended in the streets. If someone must be judged, they must be judged. But again, it was triggered by a crime which is unforgivable. So Mr. Modi came to power in 2014. Again, the same campaigns of intolerance was thrown at him from all quarters, with the collaboration not only of the Indian media, but of the Western media. I am ashamed to see, and I have the same experience as a journalist, that my editors-in-chief are only interested in India where something negative happens.